Hedgehog engine. The Hedgehog engine came first, but the Fox engine rounded it out. I feel bad that we're never gonna have another game made on that Fox engine. You know? Fucking Konami. Made them make the best engine with the best name, and then, oh, guess what? Fuck you, we're never gonna make a real game with the Fox engine ever again. Thanks for that. Thanks. We had the Sonic and Tails engine. Now we're never gonna have the fucking... Such a ripoff. It's like a bug zapper. My latest invention, the Egg Zapper! Shouldn't it be called the Gaia Zapper? I mean, it's being used to attract the Dark Gaia. Where are you? Where is he? What location is that stationed at?
Dark Gaia activation is confirmed on all 7.
Look at the continents, look at that map. Freeze frame that map and like... That's not the planet Earth. I guess it's Mobius.
Gathering Dark Gaia's pieces is such a pain. I'll have them come to me instead. A brilliant shift in perspective. An idea worthy of Dr. Eggman. Super genius.
Mike Pollock is such an amazing voice for Eggman. That would probably hurt your hand more than it hurts him. I mean, you're slapping a fucking jagged metal.
Conversion circuits warmed up.
Understood.
Just the sudden snap. You know, it's really mockable, but I feel like Eggman's setup is exactly what I would do if I was an evil genius with like a dumb Star Trek base. And just put giant buttons for everything all over the place. So last time, Professor Pickles said that he's moving his lab or whatever to the Middle East, the birthplace of culture. I could make a lot of really inappropriate jokes, but I choose not to. What's up, buddy? I wish I could still good-naturedly tease him about eating him, you know? Like, hey buddy, what are you doing outside of my belly today? You know that's not where you belong. I'm sorry, but I'm actually not. Look at these old ladies. Welcome to Corneria. Not Corneria. What's the fucking first town in Final Fantasy? What are the people like? Oh, God. Oh, I just feel the inappropriate jokes in my soul. But once again, it's like the Disneyland Small World version of these locations. When would you ever use this move? When would you ever be standing still and attack someone with this? I remember one... I'm sorry, it's like, I wish I was the kind of person who could just, you know, play these games I enjoy and not waste the mental capacity on the existence of shit-dick assholes who exist in the world. I'm not that I'm not a strong enough person to be able to do that, unfortunately. But I just remember, like, one video of a guy talking about, like, Sonic is a concept for a video game that just doesn't make sense. Like, they had to invent an entire engine just to make his gameplay function. The idea behind running really fast functions. They invented the Hedgehog engine to accommodate Sonic's gameplay style. And that's proof that Sonic is a bad gameplay style. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, they made the Bayonetta engine because Bayonetta was just way too sexy to be contained. Why don't you just use the Sparkle Gelatin? Why don't you just any game that doesn't just use the Unreal Engine? Oh, that video game character's just like, what even value does that have? You had to make a whole engine for them. The Mario Odyssey engine. What, Mario is just such a shitty character that his gameplay doesn't work on anything else. They had to make an entire engine just for Mario Odyssey. Like, what are you, fucking retarded? Like, the game companies that use engines like Unreal or even fucking Unity are the minority. Most AAA companies make their own in-house technology to run the game off of. And even then, it's the Hedgehog engine to make all the levels, but it's still running the Havoc's physics engine, which is really bad, by the way. It looks really fucking terrible. Like, there have been more than a couple instances where, like, the Havoc's engine... It's actually kind of weird that they're still using the Havoc's engine, because the Havoc's engine was a major contributor to what made Sonic 06 so fucking terrible. It is kind of fun listening to the little sound effects, though. So you'd think they'd be like, oh no, get that shit out of here. The fact that they're still using it's kind of curious to me. Amy, if you walk around here dressed like that, you're going to get stoned to death. Put a burqa on! You stupid bitch! Maybe the rules are different because she's a hedgehog, right? I don't know. Why isn't that animal wearing a burqa? You know what? I bet putting your fucking dog in a sweater is a executable offense in the Middle East. And you know what? That's something I can agree with. Anyone who puts clothes on their dog really does deserve to be stoned to death.
Sonic?
Empire City. I don't think it's actually next... Again, like, what are the continents? Let's go get a peek at the world map. Granted, it is a little fucked up at the moment. Oh, it's right next to it, but it's not connected by a landmass, dude. Look, Empire City is part of a landmass that's broken in 3 pieces. Shamar is part of this single contained landmass with like a little bit broken off here. It's called Alaska, and that's fucking me up. This is clearly not Alaska, it's Antarctica. Greece and Spain share a continent, which is fair enough. Africa is its own continent. China is its own continent. Like, it's right next to it, but you say that like, oh, you can just walk over there. Actually, Sonic probably could, I bet. Sonic probably would be capable of just walking from Shamar to Empire City. Like, no big deal, right? There's one more level that we haven't unlocked yet, but I forget where it goes. Alright, we're gonna do the levels in Shamar first. Yeah. Just the excuses that people come up with to shit talk about Sonic. Like, the things that you could say about any other franchise or any other company that no one even comments on. Apparently when Sonic does that, it's some unforgivable offense, and look, this is the reason this franchise is so bad. No! Whatever. I wish I knew how to turn those off. I'm sure there's a way, but I don't know how to do it. There we go. I remember this hub being kind of difficult to navigate for some reason. Like, what, like, you're supposed to jump up here, and then what? Like, this doesn't go anywhere. I guess you're supposed to homing attack that guy. Fuck. Yeah, like, I have no clue how you're expected to get up there. Here? Potentially? Chip, for Christ's sake, here. Have some path. It won't let me eat it. Maybe you need to be in town. You can't eat things when you're in a hub world. Fuck! Oh, what the hell? That's some banana. Banana bullshit. There we go. Fuck you. Okay, where is it? Where's the thing that I said wasn't in the game anymore, but actually is? Here we go. Yeah, the Lightspeed Dash is still in Sonic. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. It's in this game because it's a send-up to the adventure games. Look, now we have the Lightspeed Dash. And it gets relegated to its own button, but the boost and the homing attack are the same button, which really fucks you up. So this level is a pretty good example of something that, like, I mentioned before how this game doesn't really have classic ideas of what you would think of as Sonic levels, like your Chemical Plant Zone or your Casino Night Zone. You know, levels like that you think of when you think of the classic Genesis games. But what this game does do that I think is really cool, and is always something that you think about in older Sonic games that I brought up from time to time, even in the adventure games, is, you know, the idea of a game world that is unnavigatable to everyone but the protagonist. Like, no one except Sonic is navigating these environments. How the fuck is anyone getting to work at the Power Plant Zone if you're not Sonic, right? But how? This game sure as fuck doesn't have that stigma. That's not the stigma, but like that factor. Like, these environments, these levels that you're running around in, is an actual location that people actually live. And this level in particular has it where it's like an actual town. So there's a bunch of NPCs that are just standing around as you're jetting through the place, like you're running through this huge bazaar, and you're crashing through everyone's shit, and you can actually run into people, which is pretty funny. Man, it's just trivial to get rings from this. So I actually think that's pretty funny that for this game kind of being arguably less creative in its level design compared to older games, which had much more imaginative, cartoony level design. This game does kind of, it wasn't like a problem to be solved, but it does address that idea of how is any normal person navigating these environments? How is any normal human being, like, driving on the Radical Highway, right? The idea of a real person going through any of the levels that were in Sonic Adventure, or especially the old Genesis games, where I guess, like, those had a little bit more leeway because it was 2D, so you could, like, just use your imagination. Like, maybe other people would be even more capable of getting through those levels than Sonic is, because they're not restricted. Fuck. Because they aren't restricted by the two-dimensional plane like Sonic. Trying to get this moon medal real quick. Oh, come on! That's baloney.
Feeling good.
So then you go to this game, which, yeah, every single level so far has been believably navigatable to an average person who isn't a goddamn speedy platform character. I mean, going by the level aesthetic? Fuck. Come on. There we go. Going by the, like, aesthetic, like, there are invisible walls that's like, you can't go to this location, you are, like, you as the character are on rails to where you can go in this environment, but actually looking around at the design of the location around you, you can see how, like, okay, yeah, a normal fucking person would be able to navigate this location no problem. Like, you can see how people actually live in these places. Which definitely supports that theme of, this part, no, fuck, always this part. God damn it, Obey Elk. That's my little brother. Ah, Blue. It's fine. It's not like I'm, like, trying to grind in order to buy stuff. Although we're obviously not in a populated environment anymore. But it's, and it supports that theme of, oh Jesus, how does that even happen? It supports that theme of you're traveling the world, you're going to these other countries, to these...
I gotta try that again!
To these other cities around the planet and experiencing this different culture. Yeah, I might as well just get one more. I mean, if you were going through these fantastical, cartoonish environments that no normal person would actually be able to navigate except Sonic, you would lose that sensibility. You wouldn't get that... The idea wouldn't be communicated effectively. Because you'd just be going through all this fantasy fucking environment that no actual person could actually live in. No. The idea of the game is you're traveling the world and seeing all these new places and having a good time. Taking in the local culture and all that. So, of course, they would want to support that with their level design. Where you're actually going through these environments that the people you're interacting with in the hub worlds are living amongst and going through every day. I mean, how is any... Like go back to... Why can't I go here? Is that... I kinda can't tell. I think this is a daytime level. You fucking prick. How dare you do this to me? Come here. Oh, bitch. How dare you do this to me while I'm trying to figure out levels? I think this is a daytime level, but how are you supposed to get... Oh, is this the one I just did? No, because then it wouldn't have the key anymore, would it? No, I think this is the one I just did. I'm getting confused. Whatever, let's go to Empire City. We don't need to be here anymore anyway. I think. I mean, every continent has a daytime level and a nighttime level. So we will be coming back here to do a nighttime level eventually. And it's actually a pretty bad one. I think the nighttime level for this continent is, like, by far the worst one. Although the nighttime level for Empire City is also pretty bad. So I just think that's cool. Like, say what you want about, like, oh, I would rather have the fantastical environments. Elizabeth. The entrance stage. I like the idea of that. An entrance stage. Locate! Hey, how do I get to the level? Oh, it's right over there. Look at how the frame rate is just fucking evaporating before our very eyes. We have water and the werehog's fur both on screen at the same time, and the game cannot physically handle it. Look at how fucking... It's so... That's so fucking hilarious. Yeah, like, I get, like... That's why I try to... That's why I was struggling to think of, like, a more positive word to use than, like, stereotypes. Because you would go to all the other countries in the game and be like, you know, it's a stereotype, it's a caricature of this other location. But then you get to fucking Empire City, Def Big, and you get the same thing. Look at these caricatures. Louis Montaigne. The entrance stage. And you get character designs and personality archetypes that are just as cartoonish and just as exaggerated as everyone else. Okay, let's do one. Because again, like, I do kind of feel bad that I do basically ignore half of the content in this game by just doing... Oh man, look at the frame rate, it cannot handle it. They didn't think this through. They didn't think it through at all. All these enemies on stage with the water and with the werehog. Oh no. Because there is so much content in the game that I'm just kind of flat out ignoring. By only focusing on the story-mandated levels of the game, I am missing out on, like, Act 3 and 4, and all those extra bonus stages that have optional missions associated with them. And I am ignoring basically all of the NPC little side quests that you could be doing, and I'm not doing any of the exorcism stuffs like this. And that's all content in the game. That's all stuff that's in the game. Did you see how... Did you see how the move, like, interrupted his animation? It's stun locked. This move is so fucking broken. What? Ah, fuck off. Come on, let's just finish you off already. Suplex! There we go. Yeah, that's such a cool animation. The Werehog has such fun animations. Like this, the aura. Ah, fucked it up, though. Darn! Let me collect all that juicy experience. Get up, I want to do the aura. Let me do my JoJo! Ah, fuck! Why is the quick time animation so fucking fast and unforgiving? It's so weird. I do not understand why you have such a limited window of opportunity. I love that shit. I love my JoJos. I love the Werehog. There's so much about this game that I do genuinely adore. I feel bad that I don't like this game. I feel bad that there's so much of the game that I'm just like, I really don't want to spend my time doing that. I really don't want to spend my time going around doing all these exorcism missions. I really don't want to spend my time going around doing all the side quests with the NPCs. I really kind of don't want to spend my time doing the extra act levels. Like, it's all in there, and it's cool. I like that it's in there. I like that the game has that content. It's just not content that I really have much interest in engaging with personally. And I feel bad about it. That's what I mean when I emphasize, like, this game's just not to my taste. I can appreciate that it is a good taste, but it's just not something that I want to eat. It's not bad, I just would rather snack on something else. Pizza's a pretty good example also. I will eat pizza with sauce, but that's not what I would choose to eat if I had the option. Yes, I like sauceless pizza. Thank you very much. Don't be fucking questioning me. I don't know who you think you are questioning my goddamn pizza preferences. You're probably one of those people who think Sonic CD is the best game in the series. Well, I got news for you. I respectfully disagree with your opinion, but I completely understand why you would think that way. So there, bitch. Listen to that music. Listen to that sax. I think it's funny that we had, like, R&B, like, rapper characters like Lil Kim and Def Big over there that we ran into before. But the music for Empire City, at least at nighttime, is like jazz. There we go. Yeah, I always end up with way more sun medals. But I think it's okay, because I think the only level that you need to have a rank 7 in is a daytime mission, but I don't remember. I really don't want to have to, like, medal hunt and grind for medals off screen or something like that, because that is definitely something that we can find ourselves at risk of needing to do. And, like, that's one of the biggest things people have as a criticism of this game, and it's definitely valid. It's definitely a fair oh man, the frame rate. This is one of the more levels for the Werehog, just because, like, they get so long. That's the biggest problem with the Werehog levels for me, is they're very, very fucking long. Like, they just get tediously long after a while. And, you know, again, it's just the exact same formula every single time. You're doing the exact same... There's really not enough variety to the Werehog levels, ironically. Like, the Werehog levels are in the game to add variety to the gameplay, and I get that. I mean, throwing in generic cookie-cutter God of War combat and platforming and minor puzzle solving. Fuck off! It is so unforgiving. Fuck that up. I just want to throw him off. I'm not even trying to do- Oh no! I might be fucked. Oh, okay, thank God. The game actually, like, pushed the model back onto the platform. Look at the fucking streets below. Like, I get that maybe it's a social commentary. I get that New York's got a lot of pollution, but I don't think it's on the actual streets. It reminds me of that Spider-Man game for the PS1. If you remember that old Spider-Man game, the plot was like, the justification for why you couldn't go down to the street levels and had to stay up on the top of the buildings is because, like, Dr. Octopus and Carnage flooded the streets with, like, this symbiote poison or something like that. And so if you looked at the street level of all the levels, because you're just running around like the New York skyline in that game, you would see, like, the streets below were just all covered in green gas. And if you would jump down there, you would die. So that's what, like, I'm looking down there, it's like, oh no, Dr. Octopus, you son of a bitch. These levels just get so tediously long, like... like, it starts out being pretty okay. You know, it starts out being like, yeah, you're mixing it up. I like the idea of the werehog. I don't have a problem with this style of gameplay being in a Sonic game. But these levels just get, like, eventually they become like half an hour long or something like that. That's just way too fucking long to be doing really slow platforming like this, broken up by really repetitive combat like this, where you're just, whew, why don't you motherfuckers fall off? How come I can fall off, but you guys get invisible wall safety? Whoop. Oh god. I think I fell. What is happening? Shit. I think I got hit while I was trying to get up on the platform. There we go. I was talking about Eggman's voice acting earlier with Mike Phillips, who, hilariously enough, is the only voice actor from the 4Kids era that's stuck around, because he was just so perfect. Like, how do you replace that? Of course you're gonna go, of course, like, who the fuck else could you get that would be able to capture the majesty of Dr. Eggman? But, what I think is pretty funny is, I think, Iizuka, again, I have no idea how to pronounce that name, it's so ridiculous. It's like got 2 eyes. How do you pronounce that? I can't do my trick of just falling off the side and shimmying along with this because of the spikes. I think Iizuka was like, the German voice actor for Eggman is Eggman. Like, the German voice actor, that is the, like, true voice for Eggman. He just fucking nailed it, which I think is hilarious. Like, imagine Dr. Eggman's lines in English, but with the German voice. Like, seriously, go look it up. The German voice actor for Eggman is fucking amazing. Like, that is the voice of the character that I hear in my head. Like how Mark Hamill, for me, it's always just gonna be Mark Hamill as the Joker. If I'm reading a comic with the Joker in it, Mark Hamill is the voice I hear in my head. Like, that's always something I say, where whenever those debates of, like, who's the best Joker, Nicholson or Ledger? Mark Hamill! Mark Hamill is the best Joker for me. Also, I wouldn't even say Nicholson was a very good Joker, period. And Heath Ledger was an interesting interpretation of the Joker, but I wouldn't really consider him, like, the Joker. It's a little bit too far. Like, it's a really good interpretation, but it's an interpretation. It's not the true essence of that character. But anyway, I'm getting off track. I'm talking about Eggman. The German voice actor really is probably the best voice you could ever have for Dr. Eggman. Which is pretty fucking funny. Like, if you actually look at what the werehog is doing, like, it's all there. All of the ingredients are there to have really good, like, God of War-esque style character action light combat. You have everything you need to make this gameplay work. The animations are there. All of the werehog's attack animations look and feel really good. Like, probably watching me play, you're probably getting a much better experience of the werehog in action than I am playing it, because when you're actually playing it, it just feels really derivative and boring to play, for me, at least. Like, it doesn't have the depth and variation ability of something like Devil May Cry, of something like Bayonetta. I mean, I don't like God of War style gameplay. God of War is too simple for me. It's too bog standard. That's why I didn't like the new DMC Devil May Cry game by Ninja Theory, because it took out all the complexity. Like, you got your God of War and my Devil May Cry. Which is, again, why I would say, like, there are people who defend DMC Devil May Cry, but talk shit about the Werehog. They're pretty much on the same level for me. In fact, I would rather, like this, I'm having way more fun playing as the Werehog than I was playing as Dante in fucking DMC Devil May Cry. Because that game is fucking atrocious. Like, not only is it really bad, generic character action light God of War style combat, but it's offensive because it's DMC, which was the pioneer of the genre. It basically invented the character action style. Fuck you. But that game is just like it's a fucking assault on the senses. Go look up any given level of DMC Devil May Cry. This fucking attack is so broken. Go look up any given level of DMC Devil May Cry, and you will get a fucking headache. See, the animation is really strong. And it gives me a fucking headache, even just watching that game. The color palette is fucking terrible. Like, the soundtrack is really bad. It's like wubtastic. Like, someone listened to 3 seconds of a Skrillex album and thought, I can do that. And it's just, it's really disrespectful to the legacy of Devil May Cry. Like, the guys who made that game clearly had no affection for Devil May Cry, and it felt really disrespectful. And as I've talked about before, like, I don't really have a lot of patience or tolerance for disrespecting game designers.